Hey, welcome back to Even More Mashed Up. We are the pop culture podcast where we talk about all things pop culture. I'm Allan.
And I'm Patrick, and it is November 3rd as we record this.
That is correct.
So a few days after Halloween, and what makes more sense than doing a Halloween-themed episode 4 days after Halloween that won't show up until the week following?
It's a trick.
It's our Halloween spooktacular.
You really waited on the spooktacular, and it was very hard for me not to make
I know, I could see. Yeah, I know. I could
sounds,
see
so
it was coming any second.
But I held it in.
Yes.
Because I know that that's important to you.
You held it in, or I just jumped in preemptively.
No, it took you a long time to get to the spooktacular.
It did. You had to build up to it.
So it is a Halloween episode.
It is.
It is after Halloween.
It is.
Again, we were talking to Irina before the show began about how completely incompetent we've become. This would be a good example.
It's a very good example
Of said incompetence.
Particularly given, and we can't really blame it on this week being a particularly bad week, considering we came up with this schedule back in August.
No, it's true. It's true.
Like, yeah, no, that's Halloween week. That'd be a good...
Perfect. We'll do it in Halloween week.
We didn't really plan for things to debut during a relevant week. We planned for things to get taped during a relevant week.
It totally makes sense. And, of course, this will re-air.
Yes.
For those who, again, are so intoxicated by this podcast that they want to listen to it again, but only during drive time.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we calling them mashers?
I don't know. I was trying to think of like what
feels inappropriate somehow, but I'm not sure.
Well, we can't call them mashies because that's the awards.
Right. They can't be the mashies.
So mashers.
Could call them emus.
It's more like emus.
Right, emus.
Yeah, I feel like the school might sue us if we try to use emus.
Right. Maybe, Irene, maybe you could work on that. Like some kind of nickname for our hardcore fans.
I like emus, but I guess if there's like some legality behind it.
Yeah, technically, I think that would be an issue.
So
make like a bird logo.
Right. But I think there was a bird logo at one point, even.
Eugene.
Yeah. But was it Eugene?
It was Eugene the emu. That was back in the early days when we first had the portal.
Emu was pretty close.
And it was emu. It was Eugene.
Pretty close to Emma.
Who
could we do Emma's?
I don't know if you want to associate something with a name.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
We got two M's. We have M&M's.
Yeah, that's true.
More mashed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, to get back to the point, you can listen if you really love it, but you can only want to listen to it at 5:00 on a Wednesday during drive time. That would be the time to get a hold of us on CougarRadio.net.
Yes, indeed.
If you have your car radio
streaming device,
that's it. Couldn't remember the second part of that.
AKA a cell phone.
Yes, which it turns out you don't need a car radio for. But
well, if you want to play it over the speakers on the car.
That's the speakers, not the radio, though. Still don't need the radio, do you?
Well, I have to plug I have an adapter that I plug my phone into the
speakers,
into the aux for my speakers on the car.
Okay. All right. So anyway, you can listen to us during drive time.
Yes.
Or listen to it again as a podcast.
Yes, anytime on Podbean.com.
That's right.
Or your various other Podbean accessible.
I thought you were going for accessories.
No, that wasn't it. No,
quite where you're going with that one.
Yeah. So any place where I'll find podcast accessing sites.
Okay. Yes.
Really good with words.
I don't know what else to say, but yes.
Spooktacular.
You're going to go to that a lot. Like that's going to be the well that will be dry by the end of this podcast.
That's never dry.
So
I've never met a well.
No, that's right. That you couldn't get more water out
exactly.
of. That's. You once you latch onto something.
Oh yeah,
you don't let go.
Is that a dead horse? Let me go beat it some more.
By the way, it is not the position of this podcast that you should beat dead horses.
No, you should not.
No, let them go.
Only metaphorically.
I guess.
So I've got a little bit of Halloween.
So there's
trivia for you.
Today will be mostly a celebration of Halloween.
Yes.
But to do that, do we want to tell them what we're going to be talking about on the show as well?
Sure. We are going to be talking about Halloween. And also, after years of being harangued to watch it,
what a treat!
Allan finally watched What We Do in the Shadows, as I've been asking him to for years. And so we're talking What We Do in the Shadows.
That's a complete lie.
I forgot. That was the opening I originally had.
Because I've actually watched all 4 seasons.
There's 4 seasons?
Yeah.
I've watched all of season 1.
Right.
And the first episode of 2.
Right, but you were the one that tried to get me to watch it.
Yes, exactly.
I've been watching it for quite some time. I've been suggesting, now that we've done this.
You seem very defensive.
That we've finally done a show that's a show I watch. I'm thinking we should do Always Sunny in Philadelphia next.
Oh, yeah, because there's only like 19 seasons of that.
Yeah. But they're short seasons, right? 10 episodes typically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's still 190 episodes.
Yeah, 30-minute episodes, though.
That's a lot.
So 190, 30 minutes. It's not that much, really. It'll go quick. Math.
I think Irina's doing the math right now.
Yeah. So I guess we're not going to do It's Always Sunny.
95.
What? Huh? 95?
Half of 190 is 95.
Half of 190. Why are we doing half of 190?
They're half-hour episodes, so it's 90. It's 95 minutes.
So 90. So you think there's
No, that
95
doesn't make any
minutes?
sense.
So
That
you
doesn't
think
make any sense now that I
you
think
think there's
about
95 minutes worth of 15 seasons of episodes?
95 hours.
It's probably that's what I meant. 95 hours.
95 minutes.
Hours.
My fingers can move that fast in the calculator.
Not minutes.
So anyway, we will do a little bit of what we do in the shadows.
That's
but
right.
We want to celebrate Halloween,
Yes,
which we
to celebrate
typically
Halloween.
do on this podcast.
We usually do
in some
yes.
way or another.
We usually do a big thing for the spooktacular.
Just to be clear, though, my treat to you this year was introducing you to what we do in the shadows.
Is that my treat?
Yeah.
My trick was only watching a little bit of it.
My lack of surprise is just my lack of surprise. All right. So what did you bring today?
So I've got two things for you.
Yes.
I've got, according to retailmenot.com.
Retail me not?
Yes.
Okay.
The top 9 most popular candies for 2022.
Okay.
Any guesses as to what is in the top 9?
Absolutely. But I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is this for candies to be handed out?
These
or just
were
candies generally bought?
Generally bought, I believe, would
Okay.
be closer to it.
All right. Well, what should be number 1 is Nerds.
Not on the list.
Unbelievable. There's got to be a candy bar on the list.
Well, yes.
Okay.
They
so
are,
what is
well,
the candy
hang on.
bar?
I would say, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right,
There are 4 things that I would consider candy bars on the list.
So Snickers.
Number 3.
All right. You hate them, but Snickers is...
I don't hate them, but they're not my favorite.
Probably ought to be the best candy bar on that list. So
No.
Snickers, you said candy bar like. So I'm going to say Kit Kat,
That's number 2.
Twix.
Twix did not make the list.
Not make the list.
Yeah.
Milky Way?
No. No.
So, wait, is Three Musketeers on that list?
It is not. which
Okay,
makes
thank
me very,
God.
Yeah, I was very
Because
upset.
It's a fine candy
I
bar.
love Three Musketeers.
But the Milky Way is just a better version of it.
No, Milky Way is terrible.
Why would you not add caramel? You could add caramel to any chocolate
It's not
bar,
that
and it's better.
It's that the nougat in the Milky Way is too hard.
That's
Seriously?
very technical. Very technical.
I
Yeah.
don't like the hardness of the new. I like
I-
a soft cloud like nougat in
I've
my
been
Three
I've
Musketeers.
been eating like a... I always thought it was the same nougat.
No.
I
Three
would-
Musketeers has a much softer cloud.
Had you asked me, though, I would have been like, yeah, it's kind of the same. Like,
No.
nougat is nougat.
No.
No.
That Milky Way
Right.
nougat is hard.
But I always feel ripped off when I'm eating a Three Musketeers.
Why?
It's mostly air in there.
That's what makes it the healthier of the options.
I don't think it does,
It's got fewer calories.
Is that really true?
Actually, I think it might be.
Less than a Snickers.
Well,
Because
yeah.
a Snickers is a very dense candy.
It's another. Yeah, it's very dense, and it's a little too dense with peanuts for me. That's kind of my knock against Snickers.
Interesting. I do love a Snickers bar. So what
yeah.
ought to be on there that isn't is the 100-gram bar.
Not on there.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Not even close.
But there's other candy-like bars, not Mounds, right?
Oh God, no.
I hate Mounds.
I did enjoy the
Disgusting.
Mounds and Almond Joy.
Neither one. I will not.
I did
Will
enjoy the
not-
fact that
no.
when I went, I think the day before Halloween, I had to go
Yeah.
run to the Price Chopper to get a couple things. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll look and see what bags of candy they have left.
Yeah.
They had nothing
Yeah.
except Almond Joy, Mounds, and Baby Ruth. I'm like, that is 100%
That is
correct. Those are
Yeah,
three
very
of the
rarely
worst
do
candies.
shoppers get it right, but that's
Yeah.
those are 3.
I was like, that is
garbage
literally
level
all they had
candies.
on the shelf.
If I'm eating dessert and it's like an Almond Joy or nothing,
Oh, nothing. Oh, yeah.
100%. Like I won't eat.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. I don't feel like either.
I feel like neither all the time.
Almond
actually.
Joy's got nuts.
I know the theme song.
Mounds don't. So
Sometimes, no. Okay, so
you've gotten Kit Kat and Snickers so far.
that's it.
That's all you've gotten so far.
Big time, like
Well, keep in mind, there's 4 candy bars and then the other things that are not things.
Twizzlers.
Twizzlers is number 9,
Nice,
but not one of the candy bars because I wouldn't consider Twizzlers candy bars.
I would not either. Jelly beans.
No,
Well, they would sell big at Easter time, right? He didn't
That's
say
Easter. That's on the other half of the calendar.
but it was for the whole year. I thought.
no, this is for Halloween.
Oh, just for Halloween. Oh,
Sorry, yeah, this is popular candies for
So
Halloween
will,
2022.
I will not guess Peeps either. Then.
Yeah, no, you should not
Now,
get
deleting Peeps from my list.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is
What
for
am I
Halloween.
missing in terms of candy bars, Irina?
You're missing.
Is there a Hershey bar?
Yes, Hershey's is number 4.
Oh, that's.
Boom.
But you don't. So you're
Okay,
celebrating guessing.
I'm just going
right,
to point out
right?
she just dropped the boom on you.
Right, no.
She's like, boom!
So, but you don't actually like it. You're celebrating guessing it right.
There are better chocolates out there,
Right.
but in the States, that's like the predominant go-to.
It is. No, that's fair, but it's not a very good candy bar. Because
It's fine.
It's
Yeah.
like
Mediocre.
I'd rather have a crackle bar. But
Crackle-
I don't really,
oh, I do
don't
like
really-
crackles, not on
but I
the
don't
list.
really want a crackle bar.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm
You're
trying to
still
think of
you're still missing the number one.
Can I make a
Is
guess?
Sure.
it- yeah, please.
Butterfinger?
No.
What?
Oh,
I don't know.
Butterfinger
I
is.
just had one the other day.
Yeah.
Do you like butterscotch?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate butterscotch.
I like Butterfingers, except they're so crumbly and they're kind of a mess. But I do like and my teeth.
Yeah.
They always get like the stuff in the cracks of your teeth.
I don't eat them, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
they're good, but they come with a high price.
Yeah, the name too just makes me like. Why would you eat a Butterfinger?
Yeah,
All right, and we're still missing candy bars.
you're still missing one
Missing
candy bar.
Candy bar.
Well, candy bar like.
Candy bar.
I don't know that it would quite count as a candy
And
bar.
it's not a Twix.
It's not a Twix.
Is
It is
in
also the
Twix family.
It is also the number one candy.
What?
Is it in the
Yes.
Twix family?
No,
So like we're in the world.
you're
barking up the wrong
barking up
tree.
the-
Like one of the, I don't know, newer candies, the Take 5 or
No.
something.
No,
It's not like a Dove bar.
no. I'm guessing that you guys are not thinking of this as a candy bar, and that's where you're stuck.
Okay. You want to just give it to us?
What is the other candy that I love besides Three Musketeers?
Cheese nibs.
Those are crackers.
Okay, but you eat them at every lunch.
And
you
they're
eat
Cheez-Its.
You eat 20 Cheez-Its, and you eat too many candy bars.
No,
there's a very clear
listen.
precision to what
It's
you eat at lunch every
it's
day.
25 to 26 Cheez-Its, because that's the serving size.
Do you actually count them out?
Can I not
like-
answer that? I would rather not answer that on the grounds that it's going to make me look a little...
Yeah, okay, so, and then, but 2 candy bars. Maybe 3 if it's been a bad week.
It's pretty much right, which is
Right,
why I've been
yeah.
having 3 candy bars for
Yeah,
the last month.
Yeah. All right, so what are we missing?
What is the other candy that I love? How do you not know this?
I'm going to kick myself. What is it?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
That's not a bar.
That's why
not a bar,
that's
but-
why. Yeah. So that when I said one was bar-like, you assumed that was the Twizzler. I told you it was not the Twizzler.
Oh, no, I was just guessing candies I was thinking of.
Yeah, the Reese's Cup is the one that was like, it's not real. But yeah, so everything else I would say
Reese's
is...
Cups are okay.
So that's the top 4. Hershey's, Snickers, Kit Kat, Reese's.
I would take 2 of those 4.
So you've got Twizzlers at 9, so
Yeah.
you still need to get 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my God, are we still doing this?
Yes.
What?
Malted milk balls.
No.
The Whoppers?
Yeah.
Yes. He hates Whoppers. I love
I
Whoppers.
can't. I do not.
Whoppers are good.
I don't like malted anything.
Yeah.
How about Milk Duds?
Nope. Oh, Milk Duds are awful.
I love Milk Duds.
You guys are missing some really obvious ones.
really?
Yeah.
Smarties.
No. Though nationally, Smarties are
Laffy
one of-
Taffy.
Oh my god.
What?
You're not even trying.
What?
I just said you're missing the obvious ones, and your choice is Laffy Taffy.
I love Laffy Taffy.
Look, Irina is literally about to fall out
They
of her
come
chair.
with little jokes on them. Is Laffy Taffy in the list?
No.
It's not.
No.
Skittles.
Thank you. That is number 7.
All right. Wait a minute.
And now you're in a
Boom.
little bit more of the ballpark of some of the others.
So they're candies, but not nerds.
Yes, the most popular candies for 2022
good.
are
Dude,
candies.
I love nerds. Nerds are my favorite. Sweet tarts. Did we
Nope.
already say sweet tarts?
You didn't, but it's not on the list.
Bottle caps. Oh,
No.
what are
Bottle
bottle
caps.
I swear to
You
God,
think
dude.
Bottle...
I swear to God.
Irina, I'm clearly just guessing candies now, but you know what?
No.
Give me
No.
a handful of root beer bottle cap or Coke flavored bottle cap. I'm perfectly happy.
Yeah, you're
No,
clearly
thank
just guessing
you.
stuff because you know it's going to annoy me at this point.
Mike and Ike.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Don't
That's
follow
a good
his
one.
example. No.
What are the hot tamales?
Oh.
No.
Which are a better version of the
Hot tamales not on the list.
Mike and Ike.
There's
Mike
one
and
you're
Ike,
never
right?
going to guess because you hate it beyond all other candies.
Beyond all other
It
candies.
is your least favorite candy.
It's butterscotch.
No.
There's something I like less than a
I
butterscotch.
believe so. There's something you're on record as hating.
And it's not Almond Joy.
No.
Or Mounds.
No, it's
Yeah,
not-
I think
it's
we
not-
should just finish this because we got to do something else this show.
Okay. So the number 5 candy that
Yeah.
you didn't get is M&M's.
Oh.
I said M&M's at one point,
Well, that
but it
was
was not in
before the
context.
show.
That was bef-
Oh.
yeah, that was before. Yeah, before we
Yeah.
started the contest, you said M&M's. Yes.
I feel like I should get half credit.
Starburst at number 8.
I do not like Starburst, but Hope loves them.
Yeah, and then at number 6, and I think this is the one that you're going to have just a wee bit of a reaction
I
to.
feel like I'm a very calm reactor today.
Candy corn.
Oh, that's appalling. I hate candy
I know
corn.
you hate candy.
What I do
You
every
hate
year...
do you hate candy corn beyond all other candies?
I
Yes.
I would eat a candy corn before I would eat a butterscotch. But the acclaim that the candy corn gets makes me hate it more than a butterscotch.
It's not candy corn, it's candy corn.
That's why I tried to say candy corn. Maybe it came out wrong.
Yeah.
So what I do every year, Irina, is I eat one piece of candy corn because everybody loves it so much. And I'm like, maybe this is the year
I do like candy corn.
that I will eat candy corn. And it's still disgusting.
I do like candy corn.
Hate candy corn.
At least you're consistent, though. You try every year.
I do. I tried it. It was like a pumpkin-shaped candy corn this year.
Oh, no, you got to do the traditionals.
No, I don't.
It turns out... Yeah, the differently shaped ones, they always throw throw things off a little bit.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have thought of candy corn.
I do have one more quiz question for you.
Oh, good. Because we're only 20 minutes in.
Yeah. What were the first 2 candies to be fun-sized?
Well, I think back to my childhood.
Here's a hint.
Yes.
Well, you should think back to your
Three
childhood.
Musketeers.
This was in 1968.
Three Musketeers.
No.
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 Hershey.
No.
Dang. Snickers?
Yes.
Ah.
Should have gone with my favorite. And then there's another one.
Yes, there is.
Kit Kat.
No.
Butterfinger. Almond Joy. Mounds.
No.
100 grand.
No.
100 grand was always kind of like mini size. Like it came in little pieces inside. I don't know. Smarties.
No.
I do love Smarties. They make miniature Smarties. They just make them.
Yeah, but they're not fun-sized.
They're fun to me.
Fun. So, yes, Snickers and Milky Way.
The best part of this is how frustrating.
Is how, yeah, you are just...
We're just talking about candy and you get so angry.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm fine.
You're making me cry.
I'm totally
so
zen.
Angry.
Totally zen. Is it now time to talk about your favorite thing in terms of what we do in the shadows? Not that I'm at all looking for revenge.
Whatever you do,
Unless
what
you
we do in the shadows, I think is fairly done given what I've done to your superhero movies in the last couple of years.
To be fair, I've done that to my superhero movies, not in the last 2 years.
Took you a while to get there.
Well,
and there was
it
a
took
long
a while
time
for them
when
to disappoint me.
You got pretty upset with me, and you would get very angry with me if I didn't love
true.
everything superhero.
Okay, that is not true. Name one example.
Avengers.
Well, yeah, how could you not love Avengers? It was such a good movie. Also, I think that came out before we were doing the podcast.
No, we did Avengers on the podcast. Oh, I meant the more recent Avengers. No, Age of Ultron we definitely talked about.
Yeah, because I think the first thing we did was Winter Soldier. Might have been the first of the MCU stuff we talked about.
We would have done Ultron, right? At least on the radio, we talked about Ultron, and I complained about it, and you got really upset.
Yeah, Ultron might have been on the radio. I think Winter Soldier might have been the first we did a podcast on.
And you would have been upset about my opinion about that one.
Well, that's because, Age of Ultron's really good.
Exactly.
It's a fun movie.
Exactly.
I like the fun.
Here's one of the things I love about what we do in the shadows.
Yes.
I love mockumentaries. I just love mockumentaries. How do you do a bad mockumentary? Mm-hmm. Well, Andy Samberg did the Pop Star Never Stopping. I didn't see it.
But that didn't go over well with audiences, but I seem to recall people saying it was like on a kind of academic level, like it was actually a really smart satire of like the pop industry type thing.
Well, there you go. So even that can be redeemed.
Yeah.
Borat.
I've never seen any of the Borats.
Borat doesn't really speak to me.
As we have established on the show, I am not a big mockumentary
Bob Roberts
fan. So
literally told us what was coming in terms of contemporary politics. You've never watched Bob Roberts, right?
I have not, no.
Have I read White Noise, your favorite novel?
No.
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think you did. I think you're just saying this.
Years ago, I read it.
What's the name of the drug?
It was a long time ago, but we were just talking about it. I could talk about Hitler studies and a toxic airborne event.
Please, it's because we were just talking about it.
I brought those things up. All right, The Office, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like I watched The Office fairly religiously for like the first whenever Michael Scott left was about not long after that is when I stopped.
Right. You're too good for The Office.
And I got a little tired. Well, to be fair,
yes,
I've never liked when you have like your TV drama and they always do like the documentary episode. Like ER did one.
Okay.
I think The West Wing did one.
All right.
I think even CSI did one, and they're always. I really don't like it as a device.
That's not a mockumentary.
I know, but I kind of
mock in that.
I know, but I come into the mockumentary already not kind of liking the documentary style,
so
and then
you would describe yourself as prejudiced against the mockumentary.
Well, no, because
I feel like that's the description you just gave.
No,
you come into it unhappy with it.
I'm predisposed not to like the
prejudice,
mockumentary.
right?
It's not prejudice.
You're literally prejudging.
No,
you're predisposed.
I'm predisposed. No,
you're prejudging.
It's not me judging. It's just how I've been conditioned. I'm predisposed not to like. I'm not like burning crosses on their lawns or anything like that. They're just not for me.
So the guy who just admitted prejudice is talking about burning crosses.
That was that was an ironic example. We are going to be so good tonight.
Can I just one bit of personal advice?
Yeah, don't bring this up.
Don't ever get deposed in court. I can just see you digging deeper and deeper.
I'll be fine.
Deeper.
I would be a very good depositor. That's not the phrase. Deposee. Didn't think it's deposee.
I don't know.
So I'm not a big.
You don't even love Spinal Tap.
It's not that I don't love Spinal Tap. I mean, I like what I've
never
seen
really
of Spinal Tap. I've never watched
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah. So
I
thought
my
treat to you this season was giving you What We Do in the Shadows, but instead I gave you a trick, is what you're saying.
Well, it's I also have some questions about just kind of the physics of it, because as I understand it,
are you kidding me? Like, you're going to bring it's the physics. So you make me watch all of these superhero movies. We've never once had a conversation about physics. Not once.
What's your point?
Well, Bobby once demonstrated for his 6th grade science project that if you were actually in the Iron Man costume and you landed at the velocity with which it lands, you would be literally pulped like an egg.
Yes, and do you remember who suggested that as an idea for Bobby's science project?
Well, you clearly weren't happy with the ending of it because we didn't talk about the physics of the movie, did we?
No, we didn't.
Excuse me. Excuse me. How come Iron Man doesn't get pulped?
Don't do my comic book pedant voice. That is my shtick. Do not steal that from me. That is my... excuse me? When Wolverine lost his healing factor, his adamantium could have killed him.
Do you really want to talk about the physics of vampires?
Well, no, it's not the physics of vampires. Well,
I think it'll be fun.
How do you film vampires if they do not have a reflection? Because cameras involve lenses and things, don't they?
Is there a mirror in a television camera? I don't know.
I don't want to be put on the spot because I think I'm going to say this wrong, but there's mirrors in the camera that reflects the image and then reflects it again.
See, so then if they don't get reflected in mirrors, so my hope is that they're going to get
good God, Patrick, let me respond to you. I guess we have to suspend our disbelief for a show about vampires living in Staten Island.
And yet,
are you serious?
Yes, I'm very serious.
I'm
very serious.
Completely ridiculous show.
On a physical level, the show makes no sense.
I concede your point, and I still love the show.
I really hope that so here's how the show should end. The final episode should end with the guys who have been filming for however many seasons going to watch their tape and realizing they have nothing.
Empty. That would be good. That would be a good ending.
That should be the end. If they do that, I will take back anything bad I said about the show.
Okay. Including the physics of it, which is good. Okay. Can we go back to your prejudice for a minute?
No, because it's not a prejudice. It is a opinion based upon years of objective observation.
Okay. So I think you don't like the show because it often makes fun of things that you are related to. LARPing.
I don't LARP. See, I knew the moment the LARPers came on, I'm like, well, clearly Alan's going to bring that up. I don't
And this
LARP.
is why you hate the show.
I don't LARP.
You may not LARP, but it seems like you would.
Okay. That just does not seem complimentary at all.
Okay. Think about how close LARPing is to your life.
It is not close to my life
What's
at
your
all.
favorite MCU Disney Plus television series?
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. What is it? Answer the question, please.
It's Hawkeye.
Yes. Does LARPing play a semi-substantial role in Hawkeye?
In Hawkeye, yes. In my love for Hawkeye, no.
No, but still, wherever you go, LARPing seems to be right over your shoulder. I'm just saying.
You've given one example. And What We Do in the Shadows doesn't count because you're imposing that on me.
Well, so you also probably were upset when I sent you screenshots of teenage Colin. Spoiler alert, Colin reverts to being a baby.
I did see that in some of my research.
Yes. So I sent the screenshots of him as a teenager with his Twitch channel where he's only talking about Avengers and Legos.
I didn't appreciate that much either.
Right. So again, you would say that you had prejudgments before you came to this podcast or the show even. Like you kind of had it in your mind you weren't going to like it from the beginning.
No, I don't think that's true. I was willing to,
even though you don't like documentaries or mockumentaries.
Well, it's possible I did not know it was a mockumentary until I started.
I definitely told you it was. But you might not have listened.
I might not have listened.
Yeah, I think that we can agree on.
I think that we can agree on. Yes.
Okay.
I don't LARP. I also don't listen.
I'm not saying that you do LARP. I'm not convinced that you never have LARP.
I've never LARPed.
So you say.
Yeah.
And I will stipulate that even if I don't fully believe it.
I mean, if I had, like, in elementary school...
Dressed up as Speedy Gonzales?
No.
That would be LARPing.
If in, like, Indian Scouts we had made, like, little axes out of, like, linoleum tile that you would put in a stick, and then I would, like, throw it in my back, and I would throw it in my backyard. Yeah. Does that count as LARPing? I didn't wear an outfit or anything.
You didn't have the Indian Guide's vest?
Oh, yeah, I had that, but I wouldn't wear it when I was playing in the backyard.
So you would only...
I just wore it for my Indian
appropriate
guides.
The culture periodically.
I only for
you
my
probably
Indian
had a headband
guides.
Too, right?
I don't recall a headband. I think there was a vest.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You talk a lot about details relating to Indian guides for someone who's pretending they didn't do it.
I'm not pretending. My parents imposed it upon me.
Exactly. My dad was
if you're taking your linoleum tomahawk
my dad was
in the backyard and tossing it about, that's more than being imposed.
It was not a tomahawk.
That is a choice.
It was an axe.
You have made a choice.
It's not a tomahawk. It was an axe.
Okay. All right. So, anyway.
I threw at things.
Right. But, I don't know. If you dressed up like a bluebird and acted like one, what if you dressed up like one of Tom Thumb's...
I did not...
coterie
that was
of
a musical.
Other short people.
That was a musical.
Musicals are kind of like LARPing with music, if you think about it.
Let's bring that up with Hope the next time she's home.
She won't mind it now. She's very much into the devised experimental.
That's true.
Yeah, she might actually sign me on this one.
Oh God, LARP theater.
College has changed her.
Yeah. She's gonna make no money in life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, both my kids have decided to make art that can't make money.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent.
Very proud dad.
You should be.
Yeah,
you should be.
Just make experimental films and devise theater.
So yeah. So the other reason
besides LARPing.
That
or besides the Legos and the Avengers.
Yes, besides all the other reasons you have given for why I may not enjoy this show. The other
and the
thing,
physics.
and the physical impossibility of the show in itself.
Yes, that's a good point.
Is I have to say that it reminds me kind of Seinfeld, in the sense that it's a show based around a main cast. Thinking about the three vampires.
You don't count Gizmo as part of the main cast?
He's part of the main cast, but not in this part of the main cast. In the sense that they're not particularly likable. Like, the whole point of Seinfeld is that the people in the show actually kind of suck.
Right.
And these people literally and figuratively do suck.
Oh,
and yes.
You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. You wrote that.
I did write that.
And you have been waiting 30 minutes to slow walk.
Oh, yeah.
No, it is true that a guy named...
Nailed that one.
If your main character is Nandor the Relentless, he probably carries some baggage with him to the show.
I just don't... And I know they're meant to be funny, but I don't know that I find them particularly funny.
So, was Abbott Elementary funnier for you? Don't you dare. It's not even comparative.
Yeah, it's hard to say. They're again, it's all, the mockumentary style kind of puts a cap on how funny I can find the show.
Prejudice.
No.
Once again, the show is a victim of prejudice.
No.
And they are immigrants. So, double prejudice.
Oh, come on. That is not fair.
Double prejudice.
That's what you're going to say.
I guess you don't like immigrants now, too, right?
Because they're largely... That's clearly what we're saying.
You're going to be so bad on The Witness. You're so easy to rattle, and then you just sarcastically agree with
everything. You can't
everything.
handle the truth. You need me on that wall.
You want me to... Yeah. Oh... The show is such a disaster today.
I do have, so I get it if they suck. Parentheses, pun intended.
Yeah, I think we both understood.
Pun was intended.
So, to me, it's not the funniest show on television.
Yeah.
It's very episodic. Like, some bits I think are quite funny, and then other bits fall a little bit flat. It's one of those. It's kind of British in that way.
I mean, it is episodic, and yet in the season finale of season 1, they kind of pulled together the whole Gregor Jeff thing.
Yeah.
Which when he showed up, I couldn't remember where he had been. So like it was kind of episodic, but then they tried to like at the end make it kind of like there was this season-long arc, and I didn't find that as...
Jeff does run through the season.
Except he disappeared for like a couple of episodes before.
Isn't Jeff the kind of guy that would disappear from?
Yeah, but it was just weird. That's
fair enough.
And the whole like Laszlo revealing himself as the person that beheaded him in all the previous lives, like I didn't really feel there was much setup for that.
I would say that I was talking with Bobby about it when we went to Philly last weekend.
Yeah,
and he has narrative complaints about the show as well too. So I can't completely
some issues there
argue against it.
But
go ahead.
And the other thing, just the other
physics?
reason. The other reason I don't...
Immigrants.
No,
okay. What's the third?
Okay, no. I also don't like the three main vampires because they treat Guillermo horribly.
They do.
And I don't like them for that.
So do you kind of identify with Gizmo?
I don't identify with him, but I feel he's the most sympathetic character in the show, I would say.
Yeah, although Colin Robinson is the breakout star.
He's fine.
I just love the idea of an energy vampire. It makes the real world make way more sense.
The energy vampire. The other thing that I thought was a little bit dodgy.
He likes Legos and Avengers.
No, it's not him. It's when they had the episode with him
again too connected to Colin.
No. With him as the energy vampire, and then there's the episode where the emotional vampire shows up.
Yeah,
and making that a woman, I thought was a little bit dodgy. I was like, that's not. That's not the greatest of choices there.
So making it a gay man would have been better. Obviously not. Like, once again, you could... Well, if there's going to be a relationship...
Did I say that at all?
Well, what's the... I'm asking from the writer's perspective, what's the alternative? I think what you've created is a situation where they can't have an emotional vampire in any way have a relationship with Colin.
Well, why do they need to have a relationship with Colin?
For the competition between the emotional and the energy.
You can compete without having a romantic relationship.
But it adds an extra layer.
In fact,
of tension.
They have the romantic relationship after the competition's over and they become allies. So the romantic relationship was not essential for the competition.
Have you never watched a rom-com? The competition's always essential for the romance. That's the whole point. In America, you can't have a romance if you don't hate each other at first. No. That's how it works in Hollywood.
Oh, just in Hollywood, okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to say...
I know. I saw the wheels spinning.
Like, wait a minute.
And I'm like, I better clarify.
Okay, we're clarifying this is just in Hollywood.
Before somebody jumps in and tries to ruin my marriage.
I just want to say,
because
what
his prejudice has been identified at the table today.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But, I will ruin your marriage. Excuse me. Excuse me. So you don't like that the show totally humanizes vampires? Don't they deserve it? Like, why do we always treat vampires in such a negative way? Why do we come in assuming they're bad people? Isn't it time to humanize vampires?
My only response is to say because they're vampires, but then you're going to say I'm prejudiced against vampires.
Well, then what's your answer? I'm looking for your answer. I would call this a real strike for diversity. We're including vampires and werewolves. They're all part of our community now.
No, but the werewolves aren't really included. They're just there for... Though I will say, I did like when he defeats the giant werewolf by throwing the bone off the roof.
See, there
were some bits that I was like, I really enjoyed that.
As you know, I love the creepy paper.
Oh, yeah, creepy paper.
No, it's just creepy paper.
Creepy paper.
That's creepy. We got to get it for the parents' visit.
Creepy paper. That was good.
The best part of that show is it gives you moments like that.
I liked the city council when Nandor hypnotizes the guy and she just goes off. That was so. There were moments that I
love the idea of people who don't know how America works going to like a city council meeting, and trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah, there were. I did enjoy the Baron when he shows up and they take him out on the town and he's got like all the touristy stuff on,
and then he eats the pizza.
That was a little much.
Well, a little over the top. But a little over the top.
There were moments. There were moments that I enjoyed.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? I feel like I have to take that. I don't think it's going to get any better.
Let's see.
I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. What else do you have to talk about? Anything else?
Immigrants. I do have a whole thing on immigration in the show.
Let's talk about immigration.
And I feel like it's
I'm sure it comes from a very fair and balanced perspective.
I have concerns about the show's when sort of reading the show as
treat immigrants too kindly
about or representing immigrants. I do have some concerns about the show.
Yes. Okay. Yes, what I would like you to do now is to put on your academic hat.
Yes.
And just dismantle this in like the...
I never take the academic hat off.
funny academic hat you wear. It's kind of like the witch hat that Laszlo wears.
That's cursed? Yes. It's 100%. It's exactly like that hat.
Yep. Yes, indeed. All right, immigrants. We should have an honest conversation about immigrants. I will not accuse you of prejudice anymore.
So, I'm not sure that having the main representations of immigrants in this show be monsters is the best because it does feed into sort of stereotypes or prejudices against immigrants as a foreign other and as a monster.
Which is an odd twist if you think about the fact that the show was made by two Pacific Islander showrunners. So how do you square that, I guess? It's an interesting question to ponder.
So that's one thing.
That's one thing. It sounded like you had a big list.
Oh, I do have a list, yes.
Well, okay, so I think I see what you're saying, but can I ask you
4...
Oh, numbers. Oh, I mean numbers, because I can't
5, 6, I've got 6 things.
Okay. So, I guess, as academics, we are obligated to do this kind of teardown of the show.
I don't think we're obligated.
I think sure feels like it.
I feel like
there's no stopping it.
Are we obligated because we are academics, or are we obligated because the show has these sort of potential issues within it?
Fair enough.
And we are thus just...
Yes.
Beckoned to.
I'm not convinced that Nandor and Laszlo and Nadja are monsters. Maybe they're just flawed people. They can't help that they're vampires. They didn't choose it. They've been raised in a culture that's taught them certain things, but you see growth over the seasons.
Over the seasons.
Yeah.
See, I've only watched 1 season.
Well, perhaps, and this is just a side thought, take it for what it's worth, perhaps watching the entirety of it would make for a fuller conversation.
So what you're saying is that in the roughly, say, 4 years
I've been saying we should do this
of the show, that somehow caused greater development than in the several hundred years that the vampires have been alive prior to the show.
Yes. You may have missed this, but this is a television show. It's not real. I don't know how else to say that to you. But it's not real.
Yes, but
you have to kind of suspend your disbelief.
I don't.
It's like Allan Seaver. No, you watch him on Growing Pains. That guy's never going to grow an inch in his life, and yet they make him grow anyway.
Do you mean Alex Seaver?
No, Allan. His name wasn't Alex.
Which
the
character?
Dad in Growing Pains?
Oh, you are talking about the dad. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the son.
No, it was Mike. It was Michael Seaver.
Okay.
It was Alex P. Keaton. Okay. Well, your '80s sitcom game is not strong today.
My game period is not strong today on really anything.
All right. So I think that whenever you make a show like this, I agree with you. Like, you do run the risk.
Yes.
Of doing that. I don't find the 3 vampires as unlikable as you do.
Okay.
But then I really liked Seinfeld.
Yeah, I did not. Well, number one, I didn't watch Seinfeld much, but I didn't.
Still, feel free to criticize it.
So,
yes,
exactly.
Please.
Well, I'm an academic.
I've never watched it, but here's what I know.
I've watched a few episodes. So, anyways, the episode where Nandor attempts to get his American citizenship.
I knew you were going to go there.
Okay, then what am I going to say?
Something about kind of the immigrants' inability to assimilate or to learn like the basics of American life being turned into the butt of the joke. Damn it. So I'm just guessing. It's just a guess.
Yep.
Let me read it to you a different way.
Okay.
Nandor thinks he deserves citizenship. Why?
I can't remember.
Because he's a huge fan of the Dream Team.
Oh, that's right.
He's got the jersey.
That's right. He's a big Dream Team.
Like, this is what really made him an American. Was that the 92 Olympics? I can't remember what Olympics
I think it was. Yeah, it sounds
88 Olympics?
No, I think it's 92.
Okay. Like, at some point, there was the Dream Team.
Yep.
And I feel like you could read that as a critique of how little Americans know about America.
Well, that is also
that, in fact, like, this is really kind of commentary on, like, we just care about our sports teams, and as long as you're rooting for the Dream Team, like, you're American. Anyway, my thought.
I thought you were going to go for a different route there.
Go for it.
Oh, I thought your route was going to be that his love of the Dream Team is more authentically American than knowing sort of.
I think that's kind of what I was trying to say. You just said it better. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you get that on tape? That you just said it better?
Yeah.
Can we make that a soundbite on the show? You just said it better. We'll use that.
Can we just get his prejudice?
No.
I have a list going so far of the sound bites.
Do we get to see the list?
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I feel like
Irina is clearly the best person we've ever had behind the board. Like, she understands us.
in
a way that few have understood.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when
wait, I'm not supposed to say nice things about Irina because she said too many nice things were said about her today.
No, I'm just saying that there was like a lot of people that were... There's something in the air today that people are very chatty and happy and... Yeah. It was like a fun time.
Yeah. No, this
bad thing.
This reminds me of when I was... that term I was teaching here, I had like Jen Gomez and a bunch of the Highlander staff in my class.
Yeah.
And realized they weren't taking notes so much on what I said about what we were reading, but the stuff I revealed about myself.
For like the newspaper.
For like the newspaper, yeah. I was like, this feels like I'm having flashbacks.
That does make sense.
Getting some.
So number 3.
Number 3.
Yes.
Doesn't the Baron and him wanting the vampires to take over America also speak to ideas of immigrants as a threat and also maybe even replacement theory?
Replacement theory. That's really good, actually.
Thank you. Please tell me you've got that. That's really good, actually.
I say nice things about you all the time on this podcast.
I don't think that's true.
The mistake that you make is you never say nice things about me, and so you assume that that's how it works.
You just say terrible things about everything I love.
And your prejudice.
I love my
I'm surprised you're so in defense of immigrants, in fact, given where we started. I think if we really want to like take this apart as academically as we can, I see your point. I think they're...
you already hit the mic once.
I know, so now you hit it.
Yep.
Did I say anything? Did not.
Oh, you had a look on your face. Viewers won't see it. Neither will listeners.
Did you not have a look when I hit the mic the first time?
No.
Yeah. So I hadn't thought about replacement theory, which of course is a hot, pressing topic in America today.
I'd like to,
Has been for quite some time, actually. Although clearly they don't intend to. As somebody once said, they've been here for 200 years. But these and they've not really. They've not built a larger vampire family.
Well, as someone else said, you have to suspend your disbelief. Just because they haven't done it over the last few hundred years doesn't mean they can't do it in the show.
There's nothing in the show that demonstrates they want to do it.
No, I'm talking more about like not necessarily these, but the Baron and other vampires. Because you're right, these three
like external vampires.
They're pretty content with their life as it is.
But even the Baron gets here and he kind of loses track of that plan. He just wants to do all the touristy stuff.
Yeah, but I think he comes back to his plan. Or he would come back to his plan. If Guillermo hadn't killed him.
He's not dead.
What?
Spoiler. Yeah, he comes back as just a torso. Later. They have to like wheel him around on a wagon. I'm telling you, the show
sound a little fun.
Has its moments. All right, give me number 4. All that you're saying, I think, is true. I think that all of it can be read as satire, too, that we're making fun of these kinds of beliefs about immigrants.
Okay, now this one's a little bit of a walk.
If it ends with they suck.
No, it doesn't. No.
I'm leaving. All right, I just want to be clear.
So then there's the way the 3 main vampires.
Yes.
All sort of represent...
Why do you always disinclude Colin? How is he not a main vampire?
He's in here. Just hang on.
But he's not a main vampire.
But they all represent sort of European immigrants, and that's what we might think of as an older generation of immigrants.
Yeah.
And if we see Guillermo and Colin as representing sort of later generations, the way that they're pretty awful to their later generations seems to replicate sort of...
that ethnic escalator effect in America.
Yes. Because Guillermo is second generation
but
Latinx.
I'm not...
Colin and I'm reading Colin as an energy vampire, as a new kind of vampire.
Oh, I see. Because when his genetic test comes back, it just comes back white. It's just perfect for Colin.
Yeah.
I don't see him as an immigrant. Like in that way, he should be on top of the picking on chain.
No, that's true. But I just see him. Because energy vampire is not what we think of as a vampire. So he represents something new.
Right. So think about, to me, what the show is actually demonstrating is the way in which American capitalism turns ethnic groups against each other. It's a critique of the culture in which they arrive.
Is it a critique of it, or is it just replicating it?
Them. Well, in the show, it's replicating it,
okay.
But on the metatextual reading, it's satirizing capitalism critiquing capitalism.
See, but I don't know that the show
itself
is doing that.
Do we live in that television world, or do we live in our world?
Okay, but why do I get yelled at when I apply our world to the television world, and yet you do
because it didn't serve my purposes.
Okay, good. So as long as we've made that clear.
I thought that was very clear, the ground rule for both of us in this show.
No, I think I've been pretty consistent in seriously considering all of your ideas.
That cackle. I swear to God.
It's a quality cackle. No.
It's a quality cackle. All right. Number 5.
Final point.
I thought, you had 6.
I did, but one of them was the emotional vampire thing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And this one's actually not a critique. I will say that I did like the idea of the Baron kind of representing an older generation.
Yeah.
Kind of showing up and imposing sort of his old world values on the vampires in the new world. Kind of spoke to what we see between different generations of immigrants.
Yeah. I like that. I won't disagree with that one. Only because I do love this show.
Yep.
So much.
And that is everything I have on What We Do in the Shadows.
So did you know that there's a website called Mediaversity?
I did. Yes, I do, because you mentioned it earlier today. But prior to that, no.
Okay. So they actually rate shows, and they do by the following categories.
Okay.
Each out of 5. There's a technical category.
Okay. So that's like the physics of the show.
Unbelievably, they did not mention physics in the show.
Okay.
Or in these notes. Then there's a gender category. How well does it treat gender?
Okay.
Then there's a race category.
Oh.
How well does it treat race?
Oh.
There's an LGBTQ.
Did you say this was on a scale from?
It's all out of 5. Like each.
Just numbers.
I know. Like you. And then there's
I'm like a numbers vampire.
So on this, they gave them a bonus for body diversity of half a point.
Okay.
So. The technical is a
4.75
out of 5. Now can I say something?
If
you're going to have a scale of 5, you can't do the 0.75s and 0.25s. Like, if you're dicing it that thin, you need to scale a 10.
Yeah.
Just my idea. So black comedy's having its moment. The way they're using their powers to adapt to modernity.
This is all the technical side.
Yes. Okay. This is what is under technical. Perfectly melding the occult with the banal. It doesn't glamorize violence or horror, but instead ingeniously exploits gothic cliches for campiness and comedy.
Okay.
So 4.75 out of 5.
I might knock it down to like a 4.5, but close enough.
Okay. That does feel like just nitpicky.
Have you met me?
Yeah. Gender.
Yes.
Actually, is only a 3.75.
Okay.
It's better than the movie, which was all male.
Okay.
But they like things about Nadja, and then they don't like some things.
Okay.
About Nadja. They do like that she's more than just a figure of lust. She's assertive and opinionated.
Yes.
But she can also be sweetly naive and romantic.
Okay. I say, she's often I think of the one where they're trapped in the animal control.
Yeah.
And she's like the only one that like...
The only competent one?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of times where Nadja seems to be the most competent one of the main 3 vampires.
I think that's fair. I think that when she runs the vampire nightclub in season 4, you might see some of that theory undermined.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Not that I want to spoil anything.
No, you've already spoiled everything. The Baron comes back as a torso.
He does. He's very happy to be there.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a question for you about that.
Yeah.
Because I think it was the next to last episode? Or the season finale or the first one.
Okay.
Guillermo gets his and everyone's DNA results.
Yes.
Do Nadja's and Laszlo's ever come back?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I wondered if they were setting something up there. Like they were going to reveal that Nadja and Laszlo were actually like related or something.
No, not through 4 seasons.
Okay.
Not that would relate. It would stop them.
Probably not. I just kind of curious. It just seemed like the way that they so very clearly refused to have that. I was just wondering if they were setting something up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and they also, in that section, they marked down a little bit for the virgin LARPers. Their portrayal.
Oh, okay. Well, they were a little stereotypical.
Yeah. Race is a 5 out of 5. It says the creators clearly thought inclusively when it came to casting and writing. It's a silly premise, but it's compelling because it taps into the notion of these characters as immigrants.
No, I think we've covered that. You know, a 5 is probably a little bit high for me there.
Okay. Then the LGBTQ was a 4 out of 5.
Okay. 4. They give you any reasons?
The refreshingly open-minded, progressive, and sex-positive image of marriage that Laszlo and present.
Well, that's definitely
And then Guillermo.
Yeah.
Does. I don't think you learn in season 1, but he is in fact gay.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that online.
Yeah. So a big score for that. Then a body diversity, extra half a point. So the Mediaversity grade. What was an A minus? What was the?
Did they explain what the body diversity?
It's with Guillen, the guy who plays Guillermo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Diversity and body type to the cast is all.
Okay.
The characters are so much more than their physical appearance.
Okay.
Yeah. Or even that Jenna is like running counter to the idea that vampires can only be like waifish in the way they look.
Gotcha.
So, body positivity. Again, an A-, a 4.5 out of 5. I probably will never go back to Mediaversity again, but I assume you will. It seems like
it's possible.
It seems like a kind of it's my gift to you. It's a treat. Despite the trick that we started with.
Yes.
It is an interesting idea, I think, to wrestle with it in that way, which is what they have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about their 4.5 grade?
It might be a little bit high.
Yeah.
I might go more around a 4.
Okay, that's better than I thought. I found this because I knew what you were going to do to the show.
You didn't know that.
I did. So I typed into my Google search engine. I typed in, "Is what we do in the shadows racist?" Because I knew where you were going, and this is what it gave me.
I did not call it racist.
No, nativist maybe.
I would not label someone with such a label scurrilously.
I'm glad that you are avoiding the scurrilous.
Yes.
Behavior.
But yeah, there's some stuff, in terms of for me thinking of the characters as immigrants, that some of what it does is maybe not
might make you a little less comfortable.
Yeah.
All right, and then we should do the Sachinski meter.
Oh, okay.
Because this is actually
a comedy.
A comedy, allegedly,
yes.
Right?
Yes, allegedly.
Yeah. Where are you at? I can't remember. Is the Sachinski meter on the scale of 1 to 10?
It's 1 to 10. Yeah, it's a 1 to 10.
All right.
It's just on how funny we found it.
Yes. Is that your pirate impression?
That's my thinking face.
Okay. It's good for a podcast to have a thinking face.
Yeah, it's just really quality stuff.
Yes.
Maybe like a 6.5.
Wow, you found it profoundly not funny then.
No, profoundly not funny would be...
So what was your Abbott score?
I don't remember.
I think it was in the 7s.
Yeah.
Like my Abbott was like a 7-8.
Yeah.
And I think yours was around that. Maybe an 8.
Yeah.
So you find this substantially less funny.
Not substantially, but...
Well, 1.5.
That's
Let's
not
say if you had an 8.
On a scale of 10, that's only 10%. Or 15%. It's a small increment.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. To me, it's about a 9. When it's funny, it's really funny.
Yeah, I think part of it is that some of the humor is not my cup of tea.
And part of it is that you came with some previously formed opinions.
No.
That might have shaped the way you saw what you were contemporarily.
Or it's possible that someone talked unrelentingly about how funny the show was, which automatically juiced up my expectations.
Oh, no, it did the
and
opposite.
And then caused me to feel like, okay, so it's not as funny.
You went into the ring knowing what you
Though
were
I will say
do.
The other thing I did like was I liked the Vampire Council that were all like previous Hollywood vampires. Including Wesley Snipes. Yeah, so that was quality stuff.
There's
that was a nice. Yeah.
There's a lot of gags.
Yeah, I like.
And
that.
I like.
Well, that was more of an Easter eggy gag, which is the kind of stuff I like.
To me, I like. It has a duck soup kind of approach to comedy.
Oh yes, but I'm the one that's making this too academic.
You're throwing a lot out there, and they don't all land.
Yeah,
it's like the IT crowd. When it's funny, it's just
I've
unrelentingly
seen
funny.
Like clips of IT crowd on the YouTube.
We should do that on the show too.
Oh sure, how many seasons is that?
No, I know it's very short. Like
it's a British show too, so there's like 5 episodes a season.
Right,
so.
They go really quick.
Yeah.
They go really quick. But I'm sure there's something superhero we can talk about next week.
I think next week's Andor. Oh no, next week's Black Panther.
Can't be Andor. I've not. Watched
next week's.
So I need to go see Black Panther this week.
Next week. No, I don't know what. No, next Tuesday has to be Andor.
It can't be.
I think it is.
I believe Black Panther: Wakanda Forever comes out.
It comes out a week from today. Yeah, so it's going to be the following week. So next week, I'm pretty sure is Andor. Because I think Andor.
We're going to check that schedule because I don't think it can be Andor.
It can.
Well,
we made a schedule for a reason.
Yes, and I may do Andor the same way you did what we do in the Shadows. Because guess what? I've already watched the same proportion of the show.
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty much done.
Actually, I've watched slightly more than a quarter.
Right.
You've watched less than a quarter.
No, you said there were 9 more episodes.
Yeah.
I watched 3.
So that's a quarter.
Yeah, you just said less than a quarter.
It's close enough to less than a quarter. But I watched...
You know what we've established today?
You
would be the worst witness.
I've watched 1.1 quarters. I've watched 1.
I see what you mean.
I've watched one
You're
quarter
your decimal
plus like
your fraction, but I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
So
I need to watch about 10 minutes of episode 4.
You have to watch the rest of it. You have to.
Next week is Mapaka. It seems very unlikely.
But we do the show before Mapaka. And you've had your paper done since August.
Yeah, but it's not done. And I've got all this other work to do for that organization.
You said we put a schedule together.
I know. And how much, again, of what we do in the shadows did you watch? Because you had...
As much as I possibly could.
Okay, so that's the bar.
But you have
the
not
bar
watched
is as much as I possibly can.
Or we could look at it as another way.
Could we look at it as another way?
I watched 11 episodes of the show. How many episodes of Andor have you watched?
I have watched 25% of the show.
No, we're not talking about percentages.
Let's count minutes. Then. I think we should count minutes.
No, we're talking about number of episodes. I have watched 11 episodes, so you have to watch 11 episodes of Andor. And at that point, you should just watch the 12th.
There's 12 episodes?
I think so.
So I have to do all of that this week?
Well, unless we count the thing we're doing tonight as next week's episode.
Not a half bad idea. Plus, we can't do Andor. We haven't invited Rich yet.
No, that's true. But then we're not getting to Andor for a little while because we got Black Panther.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we might just have to wait on Andor.
Made a schedule.
Which has already been violated.
I don't think it has.
I think we did. There was one week we were going to do something and we did something else.
Yeah, but it was something we could just plug in. Now you're getting rid of something.
We got rid of something. There was a pop culture roundup that we got rid of. But we got rid of it. We should probably have the argument about what we're going to do on the show.
Oh, no, this is good TV. Also, we're not on TV. This is good radio.
Yeah. Never been a camera in here. That's not true. Stoppy used to be.
Yeah, we had Stoppy here.
Yeah.
Don't forget Linus. Minus.
Yeah, Stoppy and Minus.
Yep.
All right, so anyway, happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween on our
everybody.
Spooktacular, which I did not do nearly enough.
No, I'm surprised.
The Spooktacular. Spooky.
I thought that was a good time to end.
Spooky.
Oh, there's more.